Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Terry at Holding Your Space, and welcome, Annie Bear.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Terry. Hi,
Hey,
Tyler.
Annie.
He's up on your bed getting
He
cozy.
is. He's
Yeah.
shaking his bummy.
Yeah. So nice
Yeah.
to be back.
Thanks. I'm so glad you are back. Yeah. What a joy. You've been busy on your channel.
Yes. Yes. I was really enjoying. There was just so much coming through. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. We've
That's
had guests
amazing.
this last few days, so I haven't been able to the last 4 or 5 days, but I'm looking forward to getting my
Yeah.
space back, getting back into it.
Yeah. It's that time of year, isn't it?
It
Everybody has
is.
their visitors and yeah. Hi,
It's been
Sherry.
perfect.
Hi, Rossi. Hi, Carol. Welcome. Yeah. Uh-oh. There
Whoa.
you are. Was that your power or mine?
I think it was yours, but I'm on. Are you still
Oh,
having thunder and storms? And
yeah, we've had thunderstorms. We've had waves of storms all
oh my
morning.
goodness.
So the sun's gonna come out in a minute and it's gonna be 100 degrees, but
Oh, geez. We
right
have a
now
light
it's
rain
in the
today.
70s. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
nice. Our garden needs it. Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Hi, Flack. So, yeah, so I've had a lot of company too.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, and one part of it is really great because it does kind of raise your for us, it raises our standards a little bit because we're like we get really comfy, right?
Yeah.
And if you wanna go to bed at 8, you go to bed at 8 or you go to bed at midnight, whatever you want. And, so I'm a little more structured and we're a little more aware of
I
things.
I dusted.
Just just don't tell me you ironed anything.
Oh no. Heavens no.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, Nancy, you're in the middle of reorganizing all your decks. Good for you.
Oh good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I need to do that because everything's sitting here in front of me and on the side, and I've got a new basket filled with them. So pardon me,
Of new
Tyler is
decks?
well, I've got some new decks. Yeah, I got
Oh,
some really cool
what
decks.
was your favorite one you got?
My favorite one so far is Libby's deck.
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's
that's a good.
Magister's Tarot,
Yes.
and it's
My yeah.
just these little cards. They're real tiny,
Yes.
and they're real simple. Like that's freedom.
Yeah. I
So
think those come from Noreen, her Aboriginal guide.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's
and
so
they're
wonderful. I watch her every morning. She's just wonderful. I
she
feel like
she's
I'm in her kitchen.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
She's
Visiting
real
with a good
easy.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah, she's an easy person. Easy, easy,
Yes.
easy, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of easy and Annie is so easy to listen to. Well, I don't want to say that anymore. That did not come out the way I wanted to. I'm sorry, Annie.
Oh, that was good. I needed that.
No, but okay. So Annie is so kind-hearted and you always have something very wise to say. So I'm really, really happy that you're here and honored.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And we were talking backstage about forgiveness today.
Yeah.
So, I thought we'd move on with that because
Okay.
that seems to be a theme right now. And with Lionsgate coming in
That's right.
and the planets and the way they're aligning, there's a lot of forgiveness. We've been talking about releasing things. And sometimes I feel like we release things spiritually and emotionally, but either we don't release them physically, the way our brain works,
Hmm.
or a cord comes back, right? We're
Yeah.
always cutting those cords.
Yes. I've
Yeah.
been really focusing on that and going outside and sometimes just catching myself in a moment when I feel like I'm reacting with frustration or anger. I'm like, wait a minute, what is happening? I don't want to do this anymore. So I'll be please, I forgive anyone who has harmed me intentionally or unintentionally since the beginning of my time here. And you say it. And when I first started to say this a few weeks ago, about the first 15 times or so, my heart really hurt. And now it doesn't hurt so much because I just keep doing it and keep doing it. Because I think, we live out loud and we don't just say, yes, I forgive. We actually have to do it. And we have
Yeah.
to find those places in our body where the pain is. Because the body's, the ego's job is to keep the body safe. The ego's job is to say, send a message to her elbow. Send that to her neck. She's not speaking her truth. She needs to
Right.
forgive herself. She
Yeah.
needs, and we usually think of ourselves last, like, oh yeah, I need to forgive myself for anyone I've hurt, intentionally or unintentionally, since the beginning of my time here.
Yeah.
And the more I do it, the easier it gets. And I actually feel a change in my body. And where I run into hiccups is habits. My It's just habits, and those can change. I mean, I think the deal is you do something like 21 times and your habits changed. So if you compare, if you put that forgiveness there and then with an intention, like I have to, like, okay, I don't work very well if I say, well, I'm just not going to get angry ever again. That's not going to happen. But if I go, when I feel like getting angry with my dog, I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to imagine her as a 3-year-old and look at her attention span. Then, if I give myself something I'm going to do instead, then I have a choice. Then I can make the right choice. And I have to practice because I'm a slow learner, and but you got to just keep going with it. Keep trying, keep trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's a
it's really,
process, isn't it?
it is. It
Yeah. It's
really,
not the
really is.
end result. It's the process and how we get there. And that's
Yeah,
kind of life, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I
It makes
thought,
it fun.
um, go ahead.
Oh no, I just said it makes it fun sometimes. Not
Sometimes,
always.
yeah. Well, I was thinking, this is not information I readily start blabbing about, but I do have PTSD, and um, I manage it well. I manage anxiety well, but it was a very long process, and a lot of counseling and clearing, and
Yeah.
learning new behavioral tools, like 18 years worth of behavioral tools, like what can I do instead of
Right.
my knee-jerk reactions. And what I found was, like in my way, the native way, a shaman is someone who can bring a broken piece of someone's soul and bring it back to them. Now, as you know, I trained with a medicine man on my reservation, but he turned out to be a bad person. I learned very important lessons, but they weren't what I thought I was going to learn.
Yeah.
So going forward, I thought, then I will be a shaman for myself. And I'm not going to walk around in my life saying, oh, I have PTSD. Everybody feel bad for me. This is going to be my excuse for bad behavior.
Right.
I thought, no, I'm going to heal this. That's just what's going to happen. So I'm in charge of me. I always have been. And I'm going to bring those pieces back home. So when I would remember, what PTSD does sometimes is it takes you back to the moment. There can be triggers, various triggers. It can be anything. And you'll be back in that moment. And you'll feel powerless and frightened. And sometimes you don't even have words. But if you choose, when I feel this way, I'm going to welcome that as an opportunity to bring part of my soul back to me, back to my heart where she belongs. I will claim her. And I'll usually take showers quite often because water is such a wonderful conduit for healing energies. And
Incredible.
it's so feminine,
Yeah.
and you can just say, okay, mother, I'm here. I am doing this work. I trust this process and I will just keep doing it. And I think the bravest thing you can do is be vulnerable and have faith and say, Creator, this is my intention. Please show me how to do this and I will just do it. I mean, a lot of it, there isn't a fancy title for it. It's an inside job. Ascension's an inside job. Healing's an inside job. Um, so I found that really, really helpful. And it is, as far as situations with others, that forgiveness sort of works into that because you take your power back and you take yourself back. And as you do that, you're not as enticed to create more drama. It just doesn't have the bang it used to.
Yeah.
Does that
You,
make sense?
yeah. 100%. You changed your narrative.
Yeah,
You're,
yeah,
you're not,
yeah.
you're not that victim anymore.
Absolutely not. No.
They're not the abuser anymore. They're either jerks or misguided or bad
Yeah.
people. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if somebody is the abuser, even though the act was abuse,
Mm-hmm.
to rename them anything horrible you want. And you can name them something good if you want, but in my opinion, we can throw the book at them and name them anything we want. And then you're that beautiful child, that beautiful young woman that, was learning. You were a student.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you
yeah,
know what's funny? There was two abusers that were strangers when I was 13, and I looked for them. I hunted them for years. I wanted to find them and hurt them. And
yeah, sure.
so I was very, very determined, you know. So I
Yeah.
carried like a tube of mascara and a small knife, and that was it. And I was like, I was going to go find them and hurt them back. And I'm not advising that. Not at all. Because I think my angels worked in shifts. I really swear to you that I think animals and spirit angels were like, would someone please help her today? I'm tired. But I, so in doing that, I didn't know it, but I created situations where I was in danger. I created situations where I'd go to the edge of safety because I felt more alive there
Yeah.
when pain was nearby. So so looking back at 60, in my 60s now, looking back on, wow, isn't that amazing? Because actually the times you think you're alone is when you have so many teacher angels around you, hoping with all their might that you will say, will you please help me? Because you have to ask. They can't intervene.
Right.
They are not allowed to intervene. It's sacred law. You
Yeah.
have to help. And oh, good grief, do not ask for strength, because if you ask for strength, you get all kinds of lessons that you have to be really strong for. And don't ask for patience because, same deal. So I just kind of focused on thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. I'm just gonna say hi to Julie and Denise and Sweet Angel and Flowing and Teresa
I can't see your
and
names, but that's
everybody.
why I'm not saying hi to everybody, because I can't see your names, and that's fine because I get too nervous. But hi everybody, I love you.
Oh, you can hit comments up on the right-hand side. Or are you on your laptop? Or are you on your
I'm
iPad?
on my iPad.
Oh, you might not be able to then. And Denise is here too. Hey, Denise. So, we're talking about forgiveness and our narrative in that, and what we call ourselves and what we call others that we need to forgive,
Yeah,
or we feel the need to forgive.
yeah.
And one thing that really helped me a lot was not having to forget. Like,
Yes, it doesn't mean the same. Yeah,
yeah, it doesn't mean that they weren't wrong. It doesn't mean that they
right.
weren't, you know, horrible, messed up people.
Yeah,
And it doesn't mean that it didn't hurt. It's just that you're not going to carry their energy anymore.
absolutely not. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
working recently. Our wonderful Callie healer in our community.
Yeah.
She
She's
was
beautiful.
she was on Heart and Soul the
I
other
saw
day.
her. She was so stinking good.
It was
Oh my
amazing,
God.
and
Yeah.
she has kindly offered me a healing.
That's amazing.
I'm so thankful. I'm so excited. So it's going to be in August. I think the 14th. I'm not sure on the exact date, but I'm so
Yeah.
excited. And here's a silly thing. So I'm like, this is so embarrassing, but I'm like, I want to be there and do that healing, and I want to show up, and I want her to say, oh my goodness, you're the first person in the entire universe who's never had cords. So I'm like, I'm going to get rid of all my cords before. That's so silly. There's this little girl in me who has a super girl cape on, and she's like, I am here to save the day.
Right?
So I've been
Yeah.
working on cutting those cords. And I'm telling you, the way the energy is right now, you can say, I wish to cut cords that no longer serve. And you will have something show up in your life in the next hour. And you'll be like, holy cow, okay, I meant what I said. I mean, the
Yeah.
opportunities are just fast and furious right now. It's incredible.
They
It's
really are. And
Yeah.
I think everybody in the group has been talking about, oh, sorry. Did you see that?
I
Julie
saw.
said,
I think it was
oh, this
Julie.
topic. Yeah. I ask for
Yes,
help all the
Julie.
time. Right, Julie?
Absolutely.
It's just everybody in the group has been talking about this, asking for help. And
Yeah.
um, um, Teresa saying, I didn't know we could ask
Oh,
angels for help. I always thought the angels did God's bidding. And, but we
yeah.
are,
There's extra angels now because of because really the experiment that's happening on Earth right now has so many timelines
Yeah.
that if you could see us from a galactic point of view, you would see like all of this light of all these rays pointed at Mother at the same time, because what's happening is wondrous. It's absolutely wondrous. And there are extra angels here. And there are angels that are just waiting for anybody to ask them for help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will. Because I asked them, like, could you, I asked for a painting angel. Could you help me paint? Because I hadn't painted before October. Excuse me. And I ask angels to help other people. When I see someone, or sometimes when you're going grocery shopping or something, I will pick up that that person is very depressed. That person is very angry and at the end of the rope. And I don't need to talk to them. I will just ask an angel, can you please extra angel for that person today? And they really are. They love to be asked.
They do, don't they? Yeah.
It's like networking times gazillion. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Angels can intervene. Yeah.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you're in peril, for sure.
Yeah.
And they do God's bidding, but part of that is helping us. So, yes, Lori, I was just going to say that. I love that.
What?
Yeah. 33
Yes.
trillion angels. I think it's
Hey,
33.
Lauren. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he says, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He does. And bringing in our trillions of angels and just seeing, I always visualize a wall of wings behind us when we do that meditation
Oh, I
and
love
bring
that.
them in like that. And
Sometimes I
sometimes,
feel that when you do that.
oh, good. I'm so
Yeah.
glad to hear that because I
Yeah.
feel like
They're
we're
ginormous.
walking.
Yeah, they're ginormous when you call
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. And lately I've been feeling like we have all these, um, all our giants waking up and coming in and walking behind us and just carrying us in their hands like we're these little tiny things,
Hmm.
being so
Hmm.
kind and
Hmm.
gentle with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but lots of protection around us.
There is. And I actually, there was one time I saw a spirit on the reservation, and I had went out to do. Um, I had heard this story about Archangel Michael, and that we all serve him, and that for some reason we had taken our swords, our blue swords of light, and we had mistakenly put them in ourselves. And it was a time in the early 2000s when Archangel Michael was asking us to take those out of ourselves
Oh,
and to hold
beautiful.
them, and that he would help us heal the wound. And so I think of him as like a cousin, but he's blue, got blue light, and he has legions, absolute legions. Nothing can stop him. But what then happened is I saw a very, very large, kind of looked like a flying pterodactyl dinosaur kind of energy, and it showed up in my front yard. And I said, I'm sovereign here. You know you do not belong here. And I clapped really loud and it disappeared. And in that instant, I'm like, if you are in alignment with Archangel Michael, because I've seen like bad people where I can usually, not always, but if someone has a bad intent, I can see their intent.
Yeah.
And from a ways away, you know, and I will say, no, no, you may not hurt yourself or anyone else here. And so I kind of feel like, and I don't mean this in a cocky way, I'm certainly not going to go looking for trouble, but I'm like, if bad energy comes near me, I will transmute your ass. You know, I'm tight with angels, so, think again, pal. And that isn't from, I don't want that to be an ego thing, because I'm a puny, small little woman, but I think we're all a lot stronger than we realize.
We really are, aren't we?
Yeah,
And
we really are.
yeah,
When
yeah,
we claim our sovereignty and we claim who we really are, that's what it means to stand in your light.
yeah.
You know,
Amen.
yeah.
Sherry Z says, "Well, I have a list for them." Right? Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that protectors. Um, Teresa says, "That's good to know. Don't know where I picked up the idea that angels listen to God only.
Probably from
Gosh,
the patriarchy, because
oh,
they're really good at that.
right?
They
Amen.
like to give permission for things that they have no business talking about.
They really do, don't they?
Yeah.
We're raised with so much
Mm.
dogma around us, from babies, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're
Well,
not supposed
native,
to talk back, you're not supposed to
yeah.
ask questions, you're supposed to be quiet, you're not supposed to say no.
Well, on the reservations, Native American society is matriarch. So
Nice.
it's matriarchal. Even like if you're going to Hopi Reservation, and for instance, Robert Morning Sky lived there and he was married and had children. And he said, when he's out and about giving talks and talking about things, he's the man. But at home, his wife is the man. And he tells her, she tells him, this is what needs to happen. This is what we need to do. And things just work better that way.
Yeah,
And I think there's wisdom in that because you always know who your mama is.
right?
It
You
just makes,
do. You
oh,
do, and
Tom Seymour. Oh, yes.
yeah,
I like that too, sweet Angel Tarot. I like that too. Most benevolent outcome because I can't rely on my little ego to know what that is, much less
well,
someone else.
yeah,
That would be so arrogant if I thought I did. So yeah, I do. I like that most benevolent outcome very much.
and
Yeah.
it really does make a difference. I when I was coming up,
Yeah.
they talked about, um, or, not most benevolent outcome, but it was, um, for the good of all concerned.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Okay.
like, so if you're wishing for something, it's not that somebody's gonna die so that you'll inherit it,
Right. Oh,
or if
yeah.
you need money or
Yeah.
whatever. It's that, the most benevolent outcome, basically, the same thing. But I like that most benevolent outcome, it sounds a little better. I had a teacher years ago, he's amazing. Anyway, but he always said that the world is energy, the universe is just energy,
Mhm.
and that energy is gonna come to you. So if you don't ask for what you want, you're going to get something anyway. So
Mhm.
might as well make your intentions known and ask for it, right?
Yes. For
Um,
the highest
yeah,
good. I've
yeah,
always asked for the highest good, even because even if I don't know what that is,
right?
so I can pay. Oh, Maruda,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah, right, Maruda? Yeah, definitely, Maruda. You can ask it any way you want
Yeah,
because
oh, for sure.
we're all mini creators, Teresa. We're all like, we are, well, at first we absorb what ego tells us and what people tell us, constructs,
Hmm.
all these constructs that we absorb as we're children. And then after a while, it's like we start to reason with it and realize that that karmic wheel is not real, that we can break free from it. And we can realize that we don't have to do this. We don't have to be quiet. We can talk, we can say our truth, we can be strong women and men, and them, whatever we want to be. Okay. Oh, Sweet Angel hasn't. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, there's a lot of good things in here. My
Oh,
parents
yeah.
always talked on major decisions, but my mom had the final say, Rossi says.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's wise because women, we have a tendency to look out for what's the best for everyone involved.
yeah, yeah.
Well, sweet Angel Tarot, how do you cut cords? I've been asking for an angel to help me do that. And I've been asking for another extra angel to come and help me so I don't reconnect out of habit. Um, because I don't know. I mean, I bet you, I'm hoping that Callie Healer will come on your show and maybe tell us more about this because I want to know too. So currently, I'm just asking angels to help me. Like, I'm trying to imagine the inside, like, I'll get really quiet and I'll imagine the inside of my energy body all the way this way in all the directions and say, is there any weak spots? Is there any holes? And what I'll look for clues is like, where's my body hurting? I have lower back pain because the trailer fell on my back. And
Sorry.
so I think, okay, so have I held energy there? Is that where I tend to hold energy when I'm
Sure.
overwhelmed or whatever? So I've been trying to imagine smoothing my energy body, seeing if it's staticky or if this is it, looking inside. Is it Is it smooth? Can I smoosh it over? Do I need to repair it? And I've been using my breath to repair it. And then I've been breathing in, like if I have fifth grade arthritis in my neck, so I'll lay comfortably and I'll breathe in. I'll imagine the air coming into my neck, and I'll imagine it helping me and going through and smoothing out my energy. And if
Yeah.
there's a cord there, I'm imagining it to become smooth, you know. Um, but I'm hoping Callie Healer will come on because she knows more about this.
As soon as you mentioned her name, she appeared.
Yay!
That's why I was laughing a little
Yay!
while ago.
Oh, yay! Just love
That's
her.
hilarious. Yeah. Callie Hiller's, well, she must be psychic, right? We
Yeah.
must all be intuitive. We must have called her.
Yay!
Her
You're
angels heard
here.
our angels.
Yay!
Yeah, definitely, Callie Hiller. You have to come on.
Please come
Um,
on and tell us more about this.
yeah. And we should do some more meditations about that too, because we do work with Archangel Michael a lot in meditation. And sometimes he does give us our swords
Yeah.
and we do that. I also see sometimes that we have cords that are beautiful cords that attach to
Yeah.
our ancestors that we can play with and be nurtured with. So there's
Well,
all
I've been doing this meditation a couple times, and it was describing like, see your cords now. See if you have any that are filled with sparkly love, and
oh really?
those are the ones of people that love you, or
Yeah.
that like ancestors, like your guides, or
Yeah.
that was a whole new thing because previous to that, like previous to 2 days ago, I had thought all cords were bad.
Yeah.
It
No.
never occurred to me until 2 days ago that there might be good ones.
Yeah, and we
So
can
yeah,
dance with those chords. Those are like, so those always remind me of like the Sufis that are the whirling dervishes,
oh,
you
the
know?
whirling dervishes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like Rumi was a whirling dervish. That's what
Okay,
he did when he was reciting poetry. He
okay.
was whirling around a column
Wow,
in the mosque.
creating his own little vortex.
He was so creating his
Yeah,
own vortex. You're
yeah.
exactly right. Really powerful, and that's kind of what I see us doing sometimes, is circling around with all those chords. Um, Twilight theme song plays, Julie. Right? I love that. I love that.
I always see spirals. I always see spirals. Like
Yeah.
that whirling. Like there's a spiral for me to go back to Creator, and there's a spiral that I come back here. And I don't really think of karma, but I think because I don't think I have any, but I think you can decide or choose or say, I'm going to clear ancestral karma for all the pain and sorrow and healing that needs to happen. I just think things move in spirals. I don't know if that's just me or if other people feel that way. Do you feel that way?
Yeah. I definitely see all the spirals, and now I see the ley lines are cyclical like that
Yeah.
in that circle, and everything now, because we were taught to think in very linear terms about space and time, weren't we? That's the way we were conditioned with
Yeah.
the conditioned mind, which is what we're working on unconditioning,
Yep.
the unconditional love.
True.
So as we recondition or uncondition our minds, we notice that it's things are not linear, they're not straight,
Mm.
they're all moving in a circle, a beautiful circle,
I've
right?
been playing with this something. Can I tell you? And maybe
Yeah.
I do. Am I interrupting your thought?
Oh God, no, not at all. Go for
Okay,
it.
okay. Because it sparked it again. I was thinking what I've been playing with lately is I think I did something in spirit recently where I realized that through the spiral that I could move my awareness that and it wasn't like I'm so smart. I think I was just being shown that if you travel the spiral, depending on what part of the spiral, 12th level, 7th level, 5th level, 3rd level,
Yeah.
2nd level, you're going to perceive a different reality on each of those levels. So on the 7th and 9th, you can see your ancestral, you can see the whole spiral. And
Yeah.
it's almost like a web and a spiral together. And you can go in your dream state with your angels and guides and your spirit team helping you, because this is, you can't just do this in our heads. That's why we have bodies, right? This is what I'm thinking. I'm trying to be so clever with Great Spirit, because I told Great Spirit, I'm going to look for you everywhere. I'm going to look for you in everything. And when I get home, I'm going to say, I saw you, I saw you. But I'm trying to get bonus gold star points by being here and noticing it. So I'm like, well, I'm in body, because I'm figuring that must be why I'm in a body. So I can go up there and then try to bring that energy back down to third. And
Yeah.
now we're working towards fifth. Now, I think we've been kind of in fifth for a while. We're just now realizing it, because
Yeah.
it takes longer for the physical to catch on. So I think we're probably going 5 to 7, 5 to 7, 5 to 7. And then oh yeah, we're in third. I don't think we're as embedded in third as we think we are. That's why everything's glitching.
Yeah. I think all of us in particular in this group are, and um, everybody, we're all light workers. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
are all light
Well, I've
workers.
been doing this little practice. I want to see if anybody else wants to do it with me. It's like when you're outside or something, you're taking a walk. Just, maybe just try it and see if it works for you. I've been taking my consciousness up to the treetops. And while I'm walking, I feel the whole Pacific Northwest. And I'm just practicing with that, because I'm thinking the most things I can do, the more you can try doing in third. Every time we do one of those little forgivenesses, or we do one of these little experiments, every single time we're anchoring that light in, and we're claiming our sovereignness, and we're healing it. So I don't know. I would you guys like to try that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's
Cool.
do it.
Oh, you're so right, Julie.
Mm-hmm.
The cord's often attached to our yeah,
Yeah.
especially this. Oh, that's how. Can I say something about that?
Yes, please.
Um, I've had 13 lovers in my life, and some were just fun, some were not a good idea, some I loved very much. But what I found was, because we're so powerful as women, like, we don't need to do Sundance where they pierce the skin with a hook and dance around for days, sweating and non sleeping, because we have wombs, because we have moon time. If you're past moon time, yay, you're a crone, you're a wise woman now. But this chakra thing, what I have found was, if you remember an old lover and he just pops in your mind out of nowhere, man or woman, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
get in a shower and go, okay, I call myself back. Yes, I remember that. Doesn't have to be good or bad, doesn't matter, whatever it is. You could say, yes, I fully remember the way that felt, taste, sounded, whatever, and bring yourself back.
Mm-hmm.
Because as women, we can, every man we've slept with has left DNA in our systems, and they have affected our chakra system, and we are big givers of life, more than we realize. So that one was something I started on in my 30s. Like, okay, I will remember each lover, and I will cut that. I will cut that, because my energy belongs to me, and I was getting married. And I actually was celibate for a year, because I wanted to all those to die off. I wanted
Yeah.
to disconnect from every lover I had ever had. Um,
Beautiful.
and that, I think, is women's studies point. I know it's private. I don't mind sharing it with you, because I think it's so important. And Julie, I thank you. Thank you, Julie, for saying that, because it's something I've been meaning to bring up for. I was going to write a poem about it, but how do you write a poem about that? That's more like something I'd want to share with our special group here,
I
not
have heard
just,
this. Yeah, I
whoa,
have heard this from other people,
yeah.
other shamans, that this
Uh,
is the true. Yeah.
yeah, we are so much more powerful than we know.
Yeah.
And I really believe that if you're not in charge of your energy, honey, somebody is. And that doesn't mean they're meaning to. That doesn't mean anybody's bad. But if you're not in charge of your energy, someone is. So I decided, since I'm going to be responsible for it, I'm going to be in control of it. You know,
Right.
just to be
Definitely.
healthy. Yeah. Thank you, Julie.
Are you gonna do you wanna do that now? Or do you wanna do that later?
Do what?
Oh, I thought you were gonna do a little meditation with that. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. No, I was just imagining, like, I couldn't imagine how to write a poem about that. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
more something I would wanna share within our like,
Yeah.
here in this safe, wonderful place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glitchy like talking to George. He has to come back down to chat with us, right, Julie? He does. He so does. So, yeah, and that is shown when we do that, like walking with awareness,
Mhm.
and then when you're in that awareness, going into that and working in that, either with your senses or with intentions or whatever, that takes all of that to a whole new level. And then again, you walk in it and you walk not just with the trees and the leaves, but then you go further than that and you walk with the energy of the entire Northwest, like you were talking about,
Mhm.
then that takes it to a whole nother level. So that's like the places where we manifest and we bring in beautiful energies. I mean, that's really a sacred thing to do. It's
I
lovely.
hadn't thought of it like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, I hadn't thought of that. You just kind of painted a picture there. Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you
Beautiful.
for bringing it up. It's it's the best way to do your intentions or your I ams or even your senses. And when we do that and we work with our senses, we
Mhm.
create that neural pathway that we can get there faster the next time. That it's just kind of
Yeah.
a natural adaptation that you naturally go to the trees and then you go to the energy of the entire Northwest and then next time, to the world and then the universe. But,
Okay.
um,
Because see, I was uncomfortable with the I ams at first because
yeah,
I thought my ego, I went kind of shy with it
sure.
at first because I'm like, I don't want to sit around and go, I'm strong, I am whatever, I'm wonderful. But I could do I'm sovereign. I could do I'm sovereign and I'm here to be of service.
Yeah,
You know, I'm here to be of service and I'm here to find creator in every living thing I can think of.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Um, it is a funny thing when we first start saying and telling
Yeah.
our truths, and it's your truth, so you can tell it any way you want, right? So
Right.
you're the creator of that, all
Yeah.
that energy
Yeah.
and how you
Yeah.
wanna do it. But
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So I love that you're cutting the cords and working with all that. And I feel like the way that you're painting and you're doing your poems now too, that's another way to get into that and to get that energy out and to connect with that creative energy and creator. So,
Well, it's been
um,
interesting recently because when I went on Hershey and Deb with Spirit, they did a live and I happened to come upon it. And as we were in there, I realized I'm like, wow, sometimes when I write, I get really, really sleepy, like really sleepy. I'll be writing, I feel in the flow. It's a beautiful way to feel, and then I'll get really sleepy. And sometimes when I'm painting, not that I'm like a world class painter, but sometimes when I'm painting, I'm really into that because I like doing it, and I'm really into it. I get really thirsty, and I entertained this thought. I thought, I wonder. Oh, I don't want to tell anybody about this because they're going to say, "Oh, you're channeling." Oh yeah, I do that all the time, and they're gonna, I'm like, I don't know what to think about that, but I almost is that strange because like people, oh, you should take this class and that, and sometimes I don't want to because I'm better off if I'm innocent, if I stay innocent, than if I try to define it. And I'm not sure if that's being a chicken shit or if
yeah.
that's what's your thoughts on that? What do you think about that?
I think several different thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have taken courses on things that have just naturally come to me,
Mhm.
like mediumship and channeling.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
sometimes I feel like it's a little bit of a hindrance because, like, evidential mediumship,
Mhm.
I took a course in, which was excellent course.
Okay.
But I already had my rhythm in a different
Mhm.
manner. So
Okay.
maybe your flow, I think, and I've heard this from other people, we're all remembering now.
Mhm.
So all of us. So we'll start a course or we'll start a book and we remember. We already
Yeah,
know these things. We just have to
exactly.
remember we remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think to try doing it on your own unless you're called to do a course. I think for a long time, my guides kept telling any reader that I would go to that, "Tell her to stop taking courses. She does not need another certification."
Oh, okay. Well, but like you said earlier, we are conditioned to think it's not real unless there's a piece of paper beside it or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, I was
right.
curious about that because I thought, well, I do want creator to come through me. I have IMs all over my house, all my cupboards, doors, mirrors. Oh, I love that. And positive
That's beautiful,
affirmations.
Callie. Yeah, that's a great idea, you guys. I've got them all over all my mirrors and all over my wall around me. It's all different things, and, yeah.
I
And
have
keeping
11 benevolent elephants on one of my boards just because I love the way it sounds.
I love that, and 11 is such a beautiful, beautiful number. Let me go.
Okay.
I've got a couple of things starred here, you guys.
Oh, okay.
So Sherry Z says, "How do we learn to work with our energy? I was told that I can manipulate my energy like alchemy. I will use it for healing at some point. I've been a healer in the past, was a nurse in this life." Oh, Sherry Z, beautiful.
That is beautiful. I
Mhm,
first learned about energy on the reservation by doing this,
mhm.
doing this until you feel it. And then we would play this game where we would throw it at each other.
Oh.
And that was fun. We would hit each other with our energy. So it was just fun, giggly games. And then I went outside and I asked Creator, I say, Great Spirit, I trust you. Please show me how my energy works. Because this vessel that I'm in, that Mother gave me and the Creator sparked with life. I'm not trying to be all philosophical here, but I'm not going to be able to learn how to do that from somebody else's body. I have to learn it through my own.
Yeah.
So I would ask, one thing that's really helpful is to turn in each direction and feel it, try to feel it with your forehead, because this is usually the strongest one. At least it is for me. To feel the energy in your throat, just practice where your chakras are. And first, always, always, always say 100% divine white light only can interact with me, nothing else. Open your feet, the bottom of your feet, and as far as your arms out can reach, and your head straight to Creator. I don't know if this sounds silly to you or it's too.
No, sounds
Okay,
beautiful.
okay. And then turn to each direction, starting with the east where things begin, and south, and west to look within, and north for wisdom. South is the good red road. That is the direction that you're going to manifest things from, and above, below, and within. And as you face each of these directions, it's just a real simple thing. They each have different gifts. They each have different plants. They each have different animals. And when you feel comfortable with, there might be one that you really need right now, you really feel comfortable with, and do a little research on that. And I don't know where you live, but find out the medicines of place. Go to your state website and find out what is your state flower, what's your state tree, what's your state animal, and just start there. And that will, as you hone in each one, it'll kind of connect. Even if you don't know it in your head, it will connect to your energy body, and you'll start getting more information. And I hope that was helpful. It's fun.
I love that. I love that, working with the land. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because all those little connections that you make every time you see, you'll go, oh, that's my state bird, that's my state plant, that's my state tree, that's the state animal. And every time you do that, there's a corresponding spot in your energy body that connects and wakes up. So that's why this world is physical and has all this knowledge in it, because it's to wake us up a cell at a time. And
Yeah.
you know, there's 12 octaves and there's levels in each one. So nothing you learn is silly because it wakes up a cell in you. So you get enough of those going on and you're like, holy crap, I know stuff. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, Sherry Z, I think somebody here said you already are a healer and you are just
Yeah.
opening up to that and knowing that you can give energy and manipulating the energy. Like Annie said, I love that because,
Yeah.
you can really feel it, can't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the more that you start with it and warming your hands up first,
And it gets
and
hot. Yeah.
yeah, then it really gets hot. It's a
It
difference.
gets hot. Yeah.
Or putting your finger and your index finger and your thumb together and doing circles in either direction. I mean, everything kinda different mudras do different areas,
Yeah.
but
In
you can really feel
the
it come
palm
on
of
out.
the palm of your hand,
Oh,
because
yeah.
the palm of your hand is where all your chakras meet.
Yeah.
The bottom of your feet is where all your chakras meet.
Mhm.
So that's why we say open those up, because it helps you balance. It helps you be grounded,
Yeah.
so that it isn't overwhelming.
Yeah. I think, George says that we also have, heart chakras um,
In the palm.
in our palms and our feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, opening that up. But there's, Sherry Z, if you come by for meditation sometimes, oh, she wreaks havoc on electrical things, right? Like 3 times
Uh,
a year, everything in my house will go out, and I know I don't have to call an electrician or somebody because I know in 2 days it'll be back. But
well, there's a clue as to her gifts then.
yeah, yeah, you've got a lot of energy, honey. A lot of
So you,
energy. That's
so
awesome.
you, you see, Sherry, do you, hey, Sherry, try this thing. Um, Go out, take a walk, find a feather if you already have one that's really special to you. Look at through that feather into a candle until you see the rainbows that are in every single feather. And one way that some native healers heal people is they look through a feather.
I
And
didn't know
looking
that.
through a feather at a person's body, sometimes those healers can see where a person's energy is dark or where it's stagnant. You could start saging. That would be an excellent exercise of saging with a feather, and you light the sage. White sage is particularly protective of women, as is osha root, but
Oh,
because that's a really helpful thing to do. Because you can see, I think you can see very very well
yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, your energy is
Holy
in
cow!
overdrive.
Oh, have you learned any? Are you interested in Reiki, Sherry? Because I think you are a natural. Whoops, my phone is trying thinks we're talking to him. Silly phone. Um, please look into Reiki, Sherry Z, or maybe you already have. Because I
Yeah.
think you're an absolute natural.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, Beck sages with cedar. Um, thank you, Hypnicity. She says we both have the best calming voices.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I like that.
So
I love
just
your voice.
yeah, Sherry Z, just remember that you receive with your left and you give with your right. So make sure that you're not using your own energy. Make sure that the energy is flowing through you.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me get to some of these other starred ones. Rossi's Den says, I'm not as advanced as all of you, but my head, hands, and legs and torso seem to get electrical energy waves. So, number one, Rossi, I'm not as advanced as all of you. That is what a yogi says. A yogi says, I don't know as much, or I'm still learning, or you are right where you're supposed to be, and you are advanced because you're here.
Yeah.
And your head, hands, and legs and torso seem to get electrical energy waves.
Is it in that
Um,
order?
hmm?
Is it in that order, Rossi's Den? Because that sounds like bringing energy down to ground it. Is it in that order? Your head, your hands, your legs, your torso, your legs, your torso? Because there's magma. You could be grounding energy beautifully.
Yeah, that would be beautiful.
That is how, yeah. Does it feel good?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a time difference on from um, StreamYard to YouTube, so it takes a minute for people to respond. But,
Oh,
yeah. So, but getting those energy waves in,
yeah.
yeah. And
Oscillation.
sometimes when we're releasing old karma,
Mhm.
we need to release and we need to shake a little bit because you'll feel that electrical energy waves coming in.
Yeah.
And, you see a cat when they get out of the water
Yeah.
or anybody and their dog and they shake. Or if something happens that's, scared them, they'll shake. So that's a good thing to do always. Yeah, you are just amazing, Russie. Oh, okay, so Russie says, "Not all the time, it does not hurt, just strange and new to me." That's awesome. That's
Enjoy
awesome.
the ride.
Right? Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Okay.
Good.
Um, Beck says, "I get that. There is a purity or originality of intent, a power that comes from not letting anyone add their 2 cents. It's between us and the divine."
Absolutely,
Beautiful,
Beck.
Beck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well
Yeah.
said. Really
Yeah.
well said. It's so true, isn't it? And it's like when your guides and your spirit team bring something into you, it's just that beautiful thing that comes like a child, filled
Yeah.
with joy and
Because you
wonder.
have to have that child's heart to even receive it.
Yeah.
It took me a really long time because I spent a lot of time in the low self-esteem park, hanging
Yeah,
out on all the rides. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Went there every weekend, all the time. But then I was like, I always want to be like somebody else. Or if you have curly hair, I want straight hair wants curly hair, all that silliness.
Yeah.
But Creator sent me here to be this brand of weird, so I kind of want to rock it. I want to own it, you know. And
Right.
that was something that Jason had said too, which I found fascinating and so wise and insightful. Someone asked him a question about did he see a lot of this particular type of person in his clientele? And he said, I have heard of that, absolutely, but it has not been brought to my table, so to speak. He goes, because I think that I need to heal in this different way. And part of my path is to find these kind of people, or they find me and we work together. And I thought that was really brilliant and another good reason to be our authentic selves. And I think you don't get extra points for suffering, but I hope to goodness you get extra points for being brave enough to be vulnerable and truthful and to be able to say, I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but I'm trying to figure it out. It'll be interesting. I think we bring strength to the community when we're able to do that, because then we can eagerly share, like, hey, I think I figured something out. What do you think? And it doesn't need to be for everybody. Maybe it's just for me.
Right. It's
I
your
think that,
truth. Yeah.
yeah, I think that that level of acceptance of ourselves and others is a lot more empowering than being fancy pants. Yeah.
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 Knowing everything is pretty boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Dalai Lama would be the first one to tell you so. So
Lord. Yeah.
Aw, Julie, that's beautiful. I'm so grateful to be amongst those who pay attention to the knowings and help others be confident in our perceptions.
Yeah.
That's beautiful,
I
Julie.
love that too, because we really are all here on purpose as a group, and we know each other.
Yeah.
Our souls know each other. It doesn't mean we're going to be all alike, But I'm so thank goodness we're all here together.
Right?
Thank
Yeah.
goodness. Thank goodness. And somebody up there there's groups up there laughing their butts off, because I kind of think we have these soul groups, and I was wondering if you thought this too. Like, we take turns, like we line up in queues to come to Earth. I
Yeah.
mean, there's giant lines and process we go through to be here. And I might be wrong, but I think I've been here since I helped seed Lemuria. And then after I fell, I incarnated. And I think I've been in incarnations ever since. And I might really be brilliant, because I have memories of building things in the universe with light with two others. I have a memory of coming to Earth with a dear friend, and we came as a team. We bought crystals, we brought plants, we brought gifts with us to seed here. And But once we get here, then we fumble and stumble around. You know? And elsewhere, we're masters. We're master builders. We're master healers. So, you
Yeah.
know, own it. Please own it. Please own it.
Right. And I
Yeah.
also feel like we have we get through that veil and we forget who we
Yeah.
are. But sometimes to reawaken, we go through a lot of trauma in our lives.
Yeah.
And so you'll often see very spiritual people that have been through a lot of trauma
Hmm.
because it wakes us up.
Yeah.
So, and Lauren says, I
Come on.
agree with your current path, AnniBear. I am doing the same thing at this time. We are finding ourselves. It feels necessary for the oneness of all to manifest.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes, Lauren.
Lauren, that is so beautiful.
Love you, Lauren. Love you, Lauren.
Right?
Yep.
Love to love you, Lauren.
Who we are.
I like the idea of an oracle deck with Annie Bear's poetry and paintings. Sweet Angel Tarot says. I love that.
You know, Terry, you planted that idea maybe a month or so ago, and it never occurred to me.
Yeah, I can
But
really
after
see her
you
doing
said
it.
that, I'm like, oh, maybe we could do that.
I think each one of these that you're making can be a different something, you
I'm
know?
open to that. I'm
Yeah,
open, sure.
yeah. It would be beautiful, beautiful. And about 12 other people said that too. So,
Holy schmoly. Well, there we go. Now we have Annie Bear's project.
and maybe a book in the future or an oracle deck with poems in the booklet. Julie says. And there were more, but I didn't star all of them.
You know, it freaked me out, didn't it? Neruda,
Well,
she
no,
who knows things.
it wasn't
She,
that. It's that there was
oh,
a lot of other people to
oh,
star. But we all think that way. We all
oh,
think that way.
oh,
So,
thank you.
yeah, you should
I,
definitely do that.
ooh,
Garuda says, I really think you guys would like the Earth Power Oracle. It has lots of portals on captions like this Delphi. I receive divine messages constantly and clearly. Okay.
ooh,
Sold. I'm gonna if you recommend it in
yeah, Earth
particular.
Power Oracle.
Yeah.
I have one deck. I have one deck of medicine cards, right?
Oh.
And I've had this for decades. And I just, um, because I don't really want to be a card reader, but I've used this for my personal self. This is going to be funny for me to figure out how to hold this.
They're hard to hold on StreamYard.
There,
Yeah. Salmon.
salmon. Yes, that's one of the
Nice.
medicines of place here. Orca, salmon. Look, look, next one.
Oh,
Yeah,
bear. And he has
yeah,
feathers.
yeah, yeah. So one of those things, I can't remember who was asking. This was the first medicine. My very first medicine that I had was fox when I was a little girl. Medicine I had in my 20s was deer, and my native name at that time was Little Running Deer.
Wow.
Um, so one of the things I look to Earth, and I think it's why I'm native this time and so many other times, is because I like the animal realm. So dreaming them or finding them in nature. Like one year of my training was I either had to kill an animal, which I already done because I lived on a farm at one time. But one, it was either kill an animal or bury everything I found for a year. So I buried everything I found for a year.
Oh.
So I don't know where I was going with that, but I think one of the reasons that's helpful is if you look for animals wherever you live, and then go look, Google them, or yeah, Google them. If you don't have a book of your own, Google them and say, okay, what is the spiritual message of Ren?
Yeah.
Um, Especially there was somebody in this morning's meditation, Jezri. Remember this morning, Jezri was seeing crickets.
Oh, that's
Remember?
right.
And she
That's
keeps
right.
having it. Yeah, she keeps having a cricket come during our meditation. So I looked up and I tried to be fancy and take a picture of it with my phone so it would just share it. And it grabbed like 1,000 words. Let me see if I can find it, because I looked it up for her. Cricket, belief. Power of your beliefs is strong, for good or bad. Do not distort ideas. Trust your own intuition before believing others. So if Jessree is here or hears it later, I hope she finds that helpful.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
So interacting with the world, even if you're not really crazy about people, look at the plants and animals because they're always fun.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Denise says, please do the tarot. Oh, okay.
You mean make a deck?
Yeah, a deck.
Okay.
So important for all we do to learn the feeling of what truth is, right, Julie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. Feel it in your heart, feel it in your solar plexus, abide by it. Lori. Sorry, Lori. I keep calling you Lauren today. God, I don't know what.
No, her name is Lauren. That is Lauren.
Oh, that is Lauren. That's
Lauren.
why.
Yeah, that's Lauren. You're right. You're on it. You on it, sister.
I thought
you're
I was
psychic. Remember?
Yeah, I forgot. The ego told me. By the way, my ego's name is now Petunia.
Petunia.
So, Petunia.
I love you, darling.
Petunia, quit talking like that, honey. My daughter would always tell me, Mom, you need to calm down. You're making all the light bulbs in the house go out. She is aware of this before I was. I love that, Lauren.
Lauren.
That cracks me up.
I love that.
Juicy. Can having too much energy or not working with it or being unorganized actually make you feel bad?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it can give you terrible headaches.
Yeah.
Give you really bad headaches.
Yeah, you kind of have to talk to your guides about it. Talk to your spirit team. And this is a perfect situation to explain to your angels and your guides what you want and what you want help with.
Can I interject something?
Yes, please.
I was told right away when I first started learning about native ways, I was told that I had too much energy because I was super excited and I wanted to know everything right now. You know, I was in my 20s. And I was told firmly by more than one elder to go to a cedar tree or that was for me, it was go to the cedar tree and put your energy in that tree.
Yeah.
Because energy is neutral. And when you have too much of it, when they were telling me this, when I had too much of it, it's going to go wherever my energy tends to go. And you know, so yes, you can have too much energy. But go put it in a tree, put it in a plant and ground it. Make sure those feet are open. And one thing I like to do, especially if I've had a really, like an irritating day, like if I've had just an irritating experience, I change my clothes and take a shower. One thing I like to do before going to sleep is I like to wash my face, my hands, and my feet. Because the hands and feet are those energy centers, and I want them calm and clear before I do spirit work in my sleep. I don't want to drag my day around with me.
This is also an Ayurvedic tool that's been done for thousands of years in the East. And
okay.
And also, yeah.
Okay.
So
and then drinking a lot of water, extra water, when you're learning a lot of stuff and all your gifts are starting to pour in and you're starting to know things, believe them and drink a lot of water because the energy body requires a lot of water.
Yeah, it's a conduit for sure. Crystals and water conduits.
Yeah.
So definitely, Cherry Z, I would make sure you're grounding yourself. And
I used to work a lot with crystals. That's
a nice one.
Thank you. And I've had it for a long, long time. And they get very, very hot. So sometimes when you're doing work or meditating or you want to, this would be an excellent way to cut cord if you wish to do that. But always 100% divine protection first and always, always, always. And this is main. If you call in medicine, thank it at the end and release it. Because it's rude to call in energies and then just let them not do anything about it. You know, you have to be a good host to go, thank you so much for helping me today. And stop. That's good safety tip.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Always say thank you, right? Yeah. Yeah. Very thirsty always. Well, gosh, this flew by, didn't it?
It
And
did. Thank you so
everybody,
much,
everybody,
everyone.
please subscribe and ring that bell for Annie Bear and her channel, youtube.com, AnniBear7f. And Sonia says, yes, I have one that you might. Hmm, I have,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
I have one you might can hold on to for as long as it gets hot.
yeah.
Yeah,
And do you
yeah,
charge your Sonia in the full moon? I put mine in a windowsill so they can get cleansed and charged on the full moon. And sometimes I take them outside so they, if it's going to rain, I'll just put them outside to get a nice bath with mother. But yeah, I know
yeah.
what you mean before they get really hot. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you, everyone who came. I
Oh,
really appreciate it.
thank you for coming on and thank you for being you, Annie. I
Thank
don't know if everybody knows this, but when we're doing our travels with our meditations, Annie's out there burning tobacco and whatnot and making sure that
sage.
we're all safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sage, so that we're all safe and holding space for us. So
Protected.
really important. Yeah, right.
Love you.
Thanks for sharing your beautiful energy.
Love you.
All right, everybody. Have a
Yes.
great
Bye.
day. Much love. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.